All right, y'all. So let's talk about Fast X. So this is the 10th installment in the Fast franchise. You could call it the 11th if you want to call Hobbs and Shaw as well into that. But definitely, I want to say this is the movie that very much so just says, you know what? We know what we are, and we are going to continue and ump up the addicts. I meant to amp up the antics of everything that is insanity with our franchise, and they do it in the best way possible. Now, I'm not saying this is a perfect film before anybody gets out there. I know no logic really lives in the Fast and Furious franchise, and you have to know that going into this because this movie's just going to piss you off if you go in there wanting something a little bit more grounded because they immediately the laws of physics throw it into the air and burn it. That's what they do here. But let's get right into this and my thoughts and opinions on it. So this movie basically is a blast from the past for the Fast and Furious franchise because you get all of the things that make the Fast and Furious franchise what it is. You get fast cars, you get races, you get one-liners, and you get something that just feels like this is like a fever dream for any action dream that you've ever had when you were younger or whatever, when you're playing with your toys and everything and throwing them all together. That's exactly what this feels in the best way possible. Now, that's not to say there is nothing wrong with the movie because there are some minor flaws and issues I had with it, which I'll discuss in a bit. But let's get into the basic story that you have here with Jason Momoa playing Dante, who is the new villain here. And let me tell you, is the best villain we've had in a long time. I think that Dante is definitely going to be a great villain to wrap up the franchise because the franchise has been getting more and more insane as we went through the first movie all the way up to the last one, the ninth one. And I think with this one, they just completely turn the dial all the way up and break it and throw it away. It's not coming down. Dante is a villain that doesn't stop at anything. There is no sort of like walls or cages for him. He is free. He is free to do whatever. And I think Jason Momoa plays that character so well. They will stop at nothing to take down Dom and his family, and it really shows. Jason Momoa really plays this character well, very scary, very Joker-esque. Remember, we were hearing those for a while? I saw it now. I see what they were talking about, and it is definitely something to be afraid of for sure. I really enjoy as well the action sequences here. They really do go over the top, and it sort of is a way of laughing at itself and not taking itself seriously, but at the same time, it is very insane to see as well. It's like some of the things you see here, you don't even see in an Avengers movie, but here they're doing it. They're doing it. They're lifting cars, they're catching cars, they're jumping through moving cars. All that stuff for sure is happening, and it's the best thing possible. Now, I will say that you do have all of these things that make the movie fun and all of that, and you know what? A lot of fun can sometimes get a little boring too as well, and that is one of the problems here. Is there is so much bloat in this movie that there are certain sequences here that you're just waiting to end because you're wondering what's going on with the other characters that you just left off because that was a little bit more interesting. And so that's a little bit of the thing with having a franchise as big as the Fast and Furious is that a lot of the characters don't get enough time to shine, and some characters get a little bit too much time. So you're just there wondering, I want to see what's going on over there. I'm okay with leaving you for a little bit here, but that's one of the problems there. It is so bloated that a lot of the characters don't get their time to shine. And now, granted, this is the first part of a sequel that's coming or a trilogy. I don't know. Ben Diesel says it's a trilogy. We still haven't gotten confirmation yet from the studio, so we'll just wait and see. But nonetheless, you're still there wondering, why did you include so many characters in this? Because there are some characters that barely get any screen time, and you're just there wondering, like, what was even the point of seeing that character in this movie? Could have been introduced in the next one. But it's all set up. This movie is basic setup from the beginning, and I did enjoy seeing them just go over the top with a lot of the things in this movie, like we've seen in previous movies, and just really having fun with it is what they're doing here. And that might be a good thing, might be a bad thing, depending on how you feel about the franchise. I think if you were never a fan of the franchise and none of the movies really got to you, especially the last couple of ones, this one's going to be one that's going to be hard to get through for sure, especially because it clocks in at 2 hours and 20 minutes. And even me, myself, who am a big fan of the movies and I know what I'm getting into, it kind of started to feel a little bit like it was dragging at points. But I will say there are some performances here that really sort of get you through that. And number one for sure is going to be Jason Momoa. Like I said, his character of Dante is the most interesting and most like fun character to see. Not that he's fun for what he's doing, but it's just so unpredictable that you're just like anticipating what he's about to do next, and you don't really see coming what he's going to do next. So it's something about that unpredictability that makes his character sort of like fun to see on the screen and makes the time not feel as draining. Where on the other hand, there are some sequences here that feel a little bit too draining on their part. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the story. I thought it was great. I really do think that they are setting up such a big finale that I don't even know in my head how they can top what they did in this movie and another movie as we get closer to that finale, whether it's the next movie or the one after that. But I am here and anticipating what they're going to do next, because that post-credit scene also opens a lot of things, as well as the finale. I'm not going to spoil any of that for you here. I will do another video where I talk about all of that over there, all those spoilers and everything in the movie, what happened as well, and what I think could possibly be coming next. That's going to be coming out later today as well. But there's just so much that they did in this movie that just feels like it feels so like concrete finale. But, you know, it's the Fast and Furious franchise. Anything can happen. We've seen characters come back from the dead after many, many movies. So that's definitely something that we could see in this next movie happen. But we'll keep our eyes open and see what they announce. But overall, we enjoyed Fast. We think it's a fun movie to go watch. The action is great. The one-liners are great. The story is a little bloated. There's a lot of characters. Some don't get enough time to shine, and that may be a problem for some. And it was a little problem for me, but I think I overlooked it just because of the nostalgia, the callbacks, and everything from the other movies. It feels more sort of like a fan service to the people who have stuck out for these past 20 years on the Fast and Furious franchise, and that's not a bad thing at all to have either. So overall, we give Fast and Furious a 3.5 out of 5. We could have wanted it to be a little bit leaner. We could have wanted to be a little bit more, less characters, more of the characters we already had and less of the characters that didn't really get much introduction, and much more than just a quick little cameo. Save them for the next movie would have been better, and have a little bit more with this core group. You know, that's just my thoughts and my opinions on it. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Check out our other video we did on Killers of the Flower Moon, which had its trailer premiere today, and let us know what you want to see next from the channel. We are also running a giveaway. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell, and make sure you let us know in the comments down below you want to enter the giveaway, and you will be able to enter our giveaway, which we will announce at 20,000 subscribers, so about 300 subscribers away from announcing that. So super excited for that. But as always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.